scared. Hi guys, so I thought that I would do the Billie Eilish like interview style thing where she like does the same questions like each year on the same date. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I've literally gone on the most recent one. The new one actually comes out on Tuesday, I believe. Let's hope I remember to do it that many times. Okay, so my name is Sasha Ovens. It is the 28th of November 2021. I am 21 years old. Oh, right, okay. I have... Is it gonna focus? 87 subscribers. Most viewed video, I believe, is my first one, which is... Oh, no, my second one. Get to know me and life in quarantine, and I posted that a year ago. That's crazy. And I've only posted this many videos since. In 2021, I think the word that like first comes to my mind, which is really sad, is anxious. I feel like I've had a really anxious year. My anxiety has got bad, like really bad. It's obviously been exacerbated. Like, we've come out of a global lockdown. Well, I mean, not global, but you know, the problem's global, the pandemic. We came out of lockdown, and I think not being around people for so long, I got really comfortable in that environment. And I never thought I would be one of those people that wanted to be in lockdown, because believe me, like, I don't. How many days off have I had? I feel like I live in one constant day off because I'm so anxious all the time. I like don't want to go out and I don't want to do things. It's not that like I don't want to do it, but it's like my brain is like, think of all the things that could go wrong, think of all the people that could laugh at you, and so I don't do anything because I'm like, if I don't do anything then people can't make fun of me, which is really sad, and I hope that changes. I wish that I would have gotten into a routine, and I think it's a big step in and of itself that just then I wanted to say got into a fitness routine, which is true, but I feel like what I've been trying to teach myself is that it's like more, life isn't just about how much you weigh. That has been the way I've actually thought since I was probably 11, which is actually quite a sad reality, isn't it? Like 11 years old. But I feel like when I started secondary school, to be honest, earlier than that, it happens like to everyone, I feel. But yeah, I wish I'd established a routine where I like felt as though, you know, I got up at a certain time, I went to bed at a certain time, and my friends and my family, I feel like that's such a basic answer, but I mean, like, you know, I mean so much stuff, like from the past few years anyway, specifically, like so much stuff is different. This year in particular, like a lot matters more in terms of like, I feel like it's going back to how it used to be. Material things matter more, not to me particularly, but like when you're around people all the time, materialism and materialistic stuff is something that like, you know, just naturally plays a part in everyday life. To me, I think health matters more than it did before. Having like sick relatives makes it, you know, particularly important. Like, I want to look after my health. What's the biggest rumour about you? I mean, I'm not Billie Eilish, so I don't really particularly have rumours about me. I feel like the biggest rumour, I mean, there was some stuff about me recently that people thought that I like went missing, but I won't go into that. I think identity is the biggest thing I'm struggling with. I've forever not know who I am, and I don't know if that's a logical thing to think, because I don't know if anyone truly knows who they are. Recently, I feel like I'm watching myself live my life. I'm not me. I'm just playing the part of me. I don't even know if that makes sense, but that is how I feel. And and I just wish I could get out of that. Like I want to live in the moment, like in my brain, like live through my eyes. Like right now, like I'm like talking to this camera right now, but it feels like I'm watching someone else talk to this camera, and I think that's like dissociation. I feel like everybody expects me to be or act a certain way, so I just act in that way because I know that that's what people are expecting. My friends, I think, my housemates, they're like pretty much the people that I ask for like advice or like help on anything. They're so important to me. The first time, graduation. I've never really graduated anything before. I've graduated school, but in the UK I don't think graduation is like graduation. I think graduation is really scary, a really scary concept for me. I mean for everybody. I feel like a lot of people know what they're doing and know exactly where they want to go, and a lot of people don't. I know the area I want to go into, and I know it's competitive, and I know that a lot of people are like expecting something of me, and I get worried that I won't be able to do that for them. It's scary but also really exciting. It's sad, I won't be living with my friends. It's like the most bittersweet thing that I think I'll ever experience. The first thing I did this morning, I looked at my phone. Pretty classic. I know that a lot of people say you shouldn't do that, but it's just what I do. The metaverse, I recently saw that and like, dude, that blows my mind. God, the news is awful all the time. I don't think there's anything positive that I can think of anyway. Is it bad that I can't think of a single thing? I mean, President Trump is not in power anymore, but that happened quite a long time ago. I can't think of anything. Come back to me in a year. I want to say that I hope that you're kinder to me and everyone around me, because these past few years have been fucking horrible, and I hope that everybody that I live with, everybody that I'm friends with, everybody that's graduating, graduates into a job market. I think my biggest fear is, like, I usually just say spiders, but I mean if this is talking about like a deep fear, I feel like my biggest fear is like people laughing at me in like a mean way, or like I know what it is, rejection. I am a reject-ophobe, if that's a thing. I can't handle it, I can't deal with it, I won't put myself in a position where it's going to happen, and I think that stems from my anxiety, and I think it also creates a lot of problems in my life. Like, I don't want to put in effort to do things in case I do it wrong and then people reject me and laugh at me. I think the biggest thing is that I'm actually enjoying uni this year. I'm enjoying my course, I'm enjoying my modules, I find them interesting, and that seems really small. Like, it seems like nothing has been like actually achieved or like significant wise, but for me I feel like I was so lost in my degree and like I just didn't enjoy it, but I actually enjoy it now, and I'm proud of myself for that. I think like for the longest time I've wanted to make an impact. Like, I've always felt as though I was meant, I don't know if this is cringe, I always felt like I was meant to do something important, not in a religious way, but I feel like there is a plan for like everybody, and I feel as though my plan was to help people. Writing my dissertation about like, I'm not going to go into it, but like internal displacement, and I feel like even though that, you know, an undergrad dis won't actually do all that much, it's an under-researched area, so if it can help any single person that needs it, I don't know, it's just what's going on in the big old brain of mine. I would say my favourite artist at the moment, Stormzy. Stormzy is a hero, man, and I won't hear anything else about it. I talk to my family every other day. That's not even true. I speak to my family every few days, every week, every few weeks. You know, it changes. When I'm at uni, I'm busy. I'm not even busy, I just find it hard to communicate with people. I find it hard to make effort with people. I feel like that's actually one of my toxic traits, is that I get upset when I feel like no one bothers with me, but then I also don't bother with other people, and that's not for lack of like care about them, because I'm always thinking about like my friends, and I'm always thinking about my family and wondering what they're doing, but I just sometimes find it hard to reach out, and I'm getting better at that, and I feel like a lot of the people around me are getting better at it too, so I'm really happy about that actually. My favourite movie, I don't even think I have one. We'll go with the coolest movie at the moment. I really like Shutter Island. I watched it recently, so it's the first thing on the top of my brain. No, I am not in a relationship. I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like there's so much pressure for people to be in a relationship, particularly when you're at uni. I feel like it's a time when people tell you to go to uni single. There's a big expectation that you're going to leave uni with like your soulmate. I know a lot of people that have that like pressure put on them, like by themselves or by anyone else in particular, and it's hard because dating at uni is something that people don't quite prepare you for, because you know, a lot of people deceive you in what they're interested in, or not even that they deceive you in that you want something so badly that you tell yourself that they want it too, and it's not always the case. That, yeah, I'm gonna end that there. I want to work for the United Nations or some form of NGO. I want to help people, to be honest. I don't know if I'm going to be really like cringed out at myself next year when I record this again, but I hope that my presence on this earth helps someone in some way. How do you feel about the world? The world is fucked. I feel completely at a loss with how to help at this point. I know what I just tell myself is just keep studying. Like, just keep studying, just keep going to uni, do a master's, do a PhD, just keep learning, and eventually you'll stumble across something brilliant, like something that will save the world, or something that will save one person. When you come into this world, if you make one person happier than they were before you came into this world, then you've done your job. And I don't know if that's a weird way of thinking, but it's just how it comes into my brain. Yes, it is all worth it. Sometimes I say it isn't, but it is. I think the best approach to success is, even though I don't always stick to this myself, is like fail up. Like, if you keep failing, eventually something good is gonna happen, or something good is gonna come out of it. Like, you can't, like, by the laws of probability, you can't fail 100 times without having at least one success in the end. That might not be true, but I'm praying to someone that it is, because I've failed so many times now that I'm just hoping there's success. Currently, I'm working on my dissertation. I'm doing a dissertation module, an access to justice clinic, international law, conflict and strategy, and law, politics and power. So by next year I'll have my grade in all of those, and I will be able to tell you what I got, unless I'm embarrassed. I hope I get a 2-1 or a first, but at first it's not gonna happen. Honestly, I feel less creative, I think. I was really into YouTube before, and the concept of making videos was so fun to me. Like, I would just sit and edit for ages, and like I wanted to make like cinematic shots, and I wanted to do this and I wanted to do that, and then everything just went down the pan, and I couldn't be bothered, and I didn't want to put in the effort. And I don't know if that was a me thing, or if it was a global no one wants to put in the effort thing, but I'm hoping there's a creative streak coming out of me. Like, when I saw the Billie Eilish interview was coming out on Tuesday, I was like, I have to make it, like I have to make it. So that was like, and like I really actually wanted to make it, so I'm hoping that that's like a burst of inspiration, and like filming this today makes me want to film more, if that makes any sense. Forced convenience, comfort, which is high-key sad because I love fashion, but I'll get into that another time. My brother is my best friend. Well, I'm not Billie Eilish, so never. I have googled myself before, like obviously no one knows who I am, so I wasn't expecting much to come up other than my socials, but sometimes I just like google myself to see if like what future employers will see when they type in my name. I feel like people I know have googled me though, because one time I was talking to a guy who was like, oh, I found your YouTube by the way, and I was like, it's not linked anywhere on my socials, so how would you have found that? So maybe guys google you. Girls, you better check, because if your old photos are coming up and you're embarrassed, I want to do something about that. Less confident. But that has something to do with the fact that I wasn't going out last year, so I felt more confident because I would experiment more with what I wore because I knew that people wouldn't see me and laugh at me. But, you know, I would say make the changes now. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't say I'll start on Monday. Don't say I'll start at 5 and then wait till 5:05 and be like, oh, I have to start at 6 now. Like, do it now and treat your life like there's urgency to it, because everybody says that life is long, but you know, everybody says life is short, and then people are like, no, life's actually really long. But it's like, if you started now, think about where you'll be in 6 months time, whereas if you didn't start now, you wouldn't be anywhere. Just be positive and do things. Don't hold back because you're scared of what other people might think. And I know that's easier said than done when I'm sat here in my room contemplating not going out, but just do it. Anyway, this has been my interview for 2021. I'll see you in a year. Bye guys.